Welcome to TWitWoW, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John, that's my cohort commentary Ashton, and this is TWitWoW in review. I was laid up recovering from 5 teeth being extracted last week, so we did not do TWitWoW in review last week. So we'll, I guess, be kind of touching on last week and this week, everything that's happened in wrestling. It's been quite an eventful time. Obviously, a lot of things coming to a head tonight at Elimination Chamber. You can check out our live reactions, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Mainly, of course, the Bloodline Sami Zayn storyline. Roman Reigns defending the undisputed Universal Championship against Sami Zayn. Main event of that event. I know AEW. We've had the build, I want to say, to Revolution. MJF versus Bryan Danielson 60-minute Iron Man match. Had Danielson kind of running the gauntlet with these different opponents. Last I remember, he beat Timothy Thatcher. So obviously, last week passed, and then this week passed. And then other promotions are doing stuff too. I'm sure Impact is fledgling, but surviving. And then, Stardom, we know we've been keeping up with. They've been doing great stuff. So how have you felt about all the wrestling that's been happening lately?
Well, I mean, as far as Dynamite goes, this week I feel like was one of the worst, one of the weakest episodes of Dynamite in a long time, and it's really unfortunate because the women main evented. But it was one of those situations where because the women were main eventing, we were like, oh man, something's gonna happen with the women, like we're gonna get a turn or a return or something crazy is gonna happen, and it just nothing happened at all. It just ended. So it was very
Yeah.
underwhelming on top of what was already an underwhelming show. So Dynamite this week was just kind of bad. Dynamite last week was, I would say, a little bit better for sure. I mean, if for no other reason, just because this week was so bad, it would be hard for last week's to not be bad, to not be better. But yeah, last week's Danielson's opponent was Roosh. Um, we had the Elite defending the Trios titles against Top Flight and AR Fox. We got a rematch of that match this week on Rampage, I believe, but I don't know if that was for the titles or not. We had the fucking Guns winning the tag titles from the Acclaimed, which is gross. We had an Eliminator match, Jamie Hayter against the Bunny. We had this whole fucking Garcia Guevara gauntlet thing with Ricky Starks having to fight through a bunch of JAS guys to try and get to Jericho. MJF to Takeshita. This is all from the February 8th episode of Dynamite, not this week. So yeah, just
Right.
basically me highlighting how much better that was than this week's. This week's was really, really, really weak. Let me actually see if I can pull up the card for this week real quick. Here we go. Yeah, okay. So this week we had Brian Cage versus Jack Perry, and Jungle Boy fucking won, which
I
gross.
did see that with which led to the return of Christian. I
Yeah,
did see that.
that was the highlight of that for sure. We had Mark Briscoe versus Josh Woods, which was just boring to me. We had a 4-on-4 tag match: Orange Cassidy, the Acclaimed, and Daddy Ass versus Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh, and Sanjay Dutt. Jesus Christ, get this off my television. Yeah, my mom literally slept through that match. We had a tornado tag match: Moxley and Claudio versus Roosh and Preston Vance. Preston Vance is the most generic motherfucker on the planet. And I think the only other match other than the main event, which I already mentioned, was Hangman versus Kip Sabian. And again, Kip Sabian is just so like bland to me. So yeah, it was just a really boring episode of Dynamite this week. Really mid, to give it even too much credit, honestly, is to call it mid. But yeah, I will say, uh, since this is also kind of my first time really getting to say anything on this, post your intro. I don't think we really need to talk too much about WWE in these 2 weeks because of the fact that we did our preview predictions last night. And didn't we even agree the last time we did a preview and predictions, or I'm sorry, the last time we did a weekend review, the day of a big WWE pay per view, that we didn't have to talk about WWE that week because of the fact that it was already talked about in our preview prediction?
I believe we did, and if we didn't, I certainly co-signed to that sentiment now.
Yeah.
We're just that's all gonna come to a head soon anyway. So, and given that AEW was pretty bland this week, I didn't watch it except for Christian's return. I'll tell you, it's a breath of fresh air to have him back.
Yes.
Amazing. I don't know why he did an unprettier on the ramp to Jungle Boy's face. You're not going to improve it, no matter how concerted your efforts. But I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate
Oh,
it.
and I don't think
Uh,
it was like the I want to improve your face thing. I think it was like the more traditional reason of I want to hurt you.
well, somebody already beat him to it. It was called birth. But yeah, I was more interested in last week, mainly because so I'm just gonna ask you questions. We'll make it more of a conversational part as far as AEW goes. Did Billy Gunn turn on the Acclaimed?
No.
Surprising. Okay, I figured as much because I thought I saw him tag with them later on, like something
Yeah,
happening
yeah.
this
No,
week.
Billy Gunn
Yeah.
actually I think tried to help the Acclaimed and his own, the Gunn boys disposed of him in the match.
Wow. Okay then.
And they just won
Interesting.
anyway. So like the fucking dastardly heel pieces of shit won despite interference.
God, and like that makes me worried too, though, because I'm wondering now. I'm wondering now. See, because okay, so let me get all my thoughts together. I feel like AEW, aka Tony Khan, feels like he's really clever. So he might think, we're doing a bait and switch. See, they thought Billy would turn on the Acclaim, but it's going to be the Acclaim turning on Billy because Billy signed them up for that match to begin with. And he couldn't help them win. So I feel like the Acclaimed could internalize this as, what good are you? You got us into this mess. You couldn't even help us get out of it. And now we lost our tag titles. And then you have the Acclaimed turn heel on Billy. But see, where Tony falters, and I'm speaking solely for myself here, just to make that crystal clear to everybody, is that implies that a heel turn on either side was good to begin with. You had to really overact. I'm not saying overacts last forever. It's always good to think about the future. But I don't know if fans were ready for this to end yet. I don't even know if there was any reason for it to. See, unlike Sami Zayn in the Bloodline, which again has just been a masterclass in storytelling, you knew necessarily that wasn't going to last forever. You knew necessarily, given Roman's character, Sammy's presence could only be tolerated so long. And because of how everything went down, to be fair, you had to know with Sammy's character that, he was going to have an internal conflict at some point. Here, it's like the internal conflict is obvious. It's a father watching his sons go after championships, but maybe he's like, they're grown men and these are the guys I'm riding with. Cool. But then that all backfires. So then I don't know. I just feel like it all gets kind of muddled because now I'm supposed to believe that the conflict is, do the Acclaimed even still see value in Daddy as, even though they were scissoring with him, right around the time that the title match was freaking made. So I just feel like it's messy. There are no real deep motivations. It's almost like Paul White's in creative. It's like, oh, we'll turn them heel for a little bit. Then after a little bit, we'll make them go back to being face. There's no substance here, I feel like. But then again, I'm projecting because the Acclaimed haven't done anything yet. I just feel like, given AEW and what I've watched, I wouldn't be surprised if the Acclaimed dispose of Billy Gunn now because of this. And I just feel like that's really pointless, given that there was no, in my mind, narrative need. They had to manufacture one. It
Right.
didn't happen organically. So yeah, it's a bit frustrating. What about Takeshi MJF? I'm guessing MJF just won that match.
Yes, yes. MJF did win. I'm pretty sure he won with Salt of the Earth, but I honestly didn't pay enough attention to the match to know for sure.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I really don't have any other questions to ask. Like, I'm just so emotionally checked out of AEW. Yeah, so I really can't think of anything else. Um, God, we already said we're not gonna like talk about WWE. So what would you like to
I
talk
mean,
about?
if
Is there
there
anything
is
on your mind?
anything in WWE that doesn't directly relate to Elimination Chamber stuff that you want to talk about, that's fine.
Let's see, I can't think of anything because I think all like the biggest stuff that's worthwhile is coming to a head at
All right, it's
Chamber.
stuff that we've pretty much already touched on during our preview predictions last night.
Yeah. Um, God, and then even Stardom, for as much as I love Stardom, I don't really think much is going on there. I will say on my end, as far as like independent stuff, and I wish I could pull it up. I bet somebody probably posted it in the Discord because our Discord's just reliable like that. New Japan Cup brackets released. I am not impressed. I know you were out because again you were dealing with stuff yesterday and you didn't come in until pretty late. I straight up told the gang, like, I'm looking at that New Japan Cup bracket and I'm thinking like Cobb should win the whole thing. Chiefin's predicting Kenta, which actually makes a lot of sense. But I'm just like, man, that is a weak ass looking New Japan Cup to me. Have you seen the brackets for it?
I'm looking for them on the Wrestling Discussion channel right now.
I'm thinking somebody must have posted them, but maybe not though, because I'm already on the 16th. Um, let me see if I can find it.
I found the Cinderella tournament bracket, and that looks fun.
Yeah, Cinderella tournament's gonna be freaking great. Can't wait for that. I actually just passed by that. Um, so let me see
You know
here.
what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just Google New Japan Cup bracket.
The only one of the bright spots is Ishii is in it.
Oh, it
But
was
I just
6 days ago. Okay, here it is.
yeah,
Okay, yeah,
I'm looking
I
at
found it. I found it on njpw1972.com.
yeah,
So okay, so we've got Sonata, Taichi. I do remember seeing this in the Discord. I do remember that. Yes.
yeah. I would love obviously for Sonata to win. I could see him losing to Taichi though in the first round. To be honest with
Same.
you,
Yep. I think I might have even said the same thing once it was posted.
yeah.
I
Cobb,
said
yeah,
Taichi or Naito, Evil or Osprey, Goto or Shingo, and Okan or ZSJ would be like the final four.
yeah. Yeah, they got to stop putting ZSJ in the fucking New Japan Cup, man. He's won like 2 of them, so it's like
I'm
how
thinking
many
the
do you really
final
want to
four
win?
this time is going to end up being something like Taichi, Osprey, Shingo, and fuck it, ZSJ again.
Yeah, probably.
Because even if like ZSJ doesn't go on to win it, he's a good foil for Shingo, at least on that side of the bracket.
Yeah, definitely.
So I could see the finals being like Osprey Shingo and like recreating the BOSJ finals from a few years ago.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I just looked at that New Japan Cup bracket and I'm like, just really feeling a little uninspired to be quite honest with y'all. But
Dude,
yeah,
I think New Japan's gonna go all in on Osprey right now because if they're losing Jay White, who else do they have as far as a foreigner that they can push as a top guy?
God, I just want to say, not totally unrelated, the wrestling universe really did Juice Robinson so dirty because AEW's got him, but I don't think we've fucking seen him.
No.
So like, oh my God.
He wrestled more matches in AEW before signing with AEW than he's wrestled since signing with AEW.
Yeah, Javaris, I gotta say, my brother, don't think I don't understand your pain in my own way about Keith Lee because Juice Robinson's been getting hoed out here for a
Actually, let me
long time.
rephrase that. Juice Robinson wrestled more televised matches on AEW TV before signing with them than he's wrestled on TV since signing with them.
Why would you?
Because he's had two dark elevation matches since the signing.
God, God damn it, man! I could go on a whole rant about that, but that's not why we're here.
Oh, actually, it's
Yeah,
equal. I just saw he did sign with AEW in December, and he did have a TNT title match with Darby Allin on Rampage in January. So there was one televised match since signing with the company, but and you could also, I guess, no, I'm not even going to do that. But yeah, basically since signing with AEW, he's had one dark match, two dark elevation matches, and one rampage match. And obviously, prior he had the Moxley match on actual Dynamite, and hasn't been on Dynamite since.
oh boy, that's fucking great. Yeah, no, Javaris, likewise. Our guys be getting treated like fucking trash out here. Speaking of Keith Lee, I know he's back, and I know people were giving him shit because God forbid he actually, allow himself to age gracefully and just own the gray hair, which I honestly think is a great look. Doesn't make him any less menacing in my fucking mind. I still wouldn't face that dude in the back alley, and neither would anybody that wants to criticize him. And yes, Foster, I know you know our pain all too well as well. God, we need a support group. Jesus Christ. Um, yeah, man, I don't know. You talked about Stardom Cinderella tournament. Let me actually scroll back down and take a look at those brackets. Those look far more interesting.
Yeah. The bracket that I posted was in Japanese, but I did like list the matches in English below it.
All right, so here are all the matches in order. Oh god, Utami's facing Nane. Why the fuck does this keep happening to me? Micah versus Momo. Oh, what's that? Okay, so Micah versus Momo should be fire. Julia Sakura. Why? Azumi Hazuki. Yes, that's gonna be one of the best matches of the first round.
There are some fire matches in the first round. There are two like mentor versus student matches that I'm really looking forward to.
Wait. We're getting Maria, or wait, no, or is it Mariah May?
Mariah May. It's Mariah May.
I popped for just because I realized Mariah. There's no H with Maria. Just amazing giggles that cure cancer. Shooty versus Inaba should be dope. Kogo Kashima should be fun because they actually have history, so I like that. Kamitani Mayu, that's gonna be good.
Yep, that's the match that they advertised it with. Basically, that was the thumbnail of the video.
Yeah, Lady C versus X. So, any idea on who X might be, or any speculation, I should say?
Nope, not a clue. No idea.
Yeah, me. It's gonna be fucking Superstar Machine. Right.
Chaya Ida is already in it, but you could still be right.
Kid versus Umasaki. I don't know how I feel about tag partners going against each other, but I'm still hoping Kid goes pretty far in this tournament, if not outright wins.
You didn't comment on Shooty versus Inaba, though. How sick is
that?
Oh,
no, I actually did. You might not have heard me. I said that's really cool. Okay, I actually like the idea of that matchup.
Yeah, I'm stoked for that.
I'm gonna be a hypocrite for that one, because I know it's Karate Brave, but still, it's gonna be pretty tight.
Yeah.
But I mean, Kid and Umasaki, they've got the whole New Blood storyline of those tag titles, so Sore versus Mizumori. Interesting. Okay. Sorry to win that.
Yeah, Pineapple Princess.
Yes, Tam versus Himeka. Air's kind of driven out of me for that match because we know Himeka's retiring, unfortunately. Tora versus these tag partners facing off. Mirai versus Hanan. You know what? I'm rooting for Hanan and I'm kind of upset. I really want to see Hanan do well in the Cinderella tournament this year.
That would be cool.
Ida versus Amasaki. Low-key thinking Amasaki might go over, but Ida probably will. Poi versus Mina. Mina's got Poi's number. I think Mina's just gonna win that one, honestly.
Yeah.
She would have beaten her in the gauntlet if time didn't run out because she had her in the figure four again. She owns Poi at every turn, I feel like. So yeah. Koguma versus Tekla, Bear versus Spider, Hina versus Double X. What? Maybe one of them will be Maria. Oh,
I would love that, but I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not allowing myself to.
Rossi, you son of a bitch! She deserves more gigs. Fuck.
This tournament doesn't even start though until March 26th. Like we're a while away.
Yeah. You know, Mark, you're asking the right questions. I too want to know what Utami did to deserve being paired up with fucking Nane in the first fucking round.
The thing is,
I think
that they just did that to have them both like double elimination. They're like the two strongest players in the tournament, so let's just eliminate them both right away.
Oh wow, yeah, really? That can eat my ass. That's what that can do. So yeah, fuck that. If anybody actually knows the answer, even though that probably is the right answer, I don't know. I don't even have access to my wrestling Twitter right now because Twitter's fucking useless.
What?
So
what happened with Twitter?
Well, because I had to switch everything over, so I kind of I don't have the password anymore, so I had to change it. But the thing was, I had two-factor authentication activated, but Elon got rid of two-factor authentication because apparently only bots use it.
What?
God forbid people actually want to secure their account. Yeah, two-factor authentication isn't like a thing anymore. And then when I tried following up with Twitter support, my messages don't even get delivered. And I can tell you that because I'm looking at it right now.
God.
So my wrestling Twitter's just gone, people. Elon took it away from me, more or less. So thank him for that. Fucking billionaires.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's all on fire, people. It's all on fire. But yeah, fucking I knew Tommy wasn't gonna win, but you didn't have to shove it in my face. Oh, I have to pay for oh my god, that's disgusting.
Wait, really?
Oh my god, that's gross. For TWitWoW, I'll do it, but how much, Mark? How much am I gonna have to fucking pay for something that was
I'm assuming you have to pay for Twitter Blue, which is like $8, I think.
Can I pay for it with my old fucking account being locked out of it? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Oh my god. I hate him. I hate the billionaire class so much. But this is TWitWoW in review. If I get all political, pretty soon I'm going to be talking about things I shouldn't be talking about, and not just because of relevancy purposes. So,
bro, speaking of Elon, and that brings me back to, eating the rich. There's a fucking cannibalism storyline in season 4 of The Walking Dead. You would love it.
Oh my god, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Or no, season 5 it is. Season 5. You would love it though, for sure. You would be over the moon about it. You would absolutely love it.
God.
There's one the phrase that they keep saying is, "You're either you what is it? You're either the butcher or you're the cattle."
Oh. Oh, well that made me all tingly down there. Um But yeah, man, I gotta ask. Looking at these match orders, I know you've been confident about Kid winning this year. I low key hope you're right. There are actually a handful of people. We already had this conversation a few weeks back that I wouldn't mind winning, and I know you're the same way. So looking at these matchups, are you still like confident Kid takes it all? Because Umasaki
My
isn't a
top
bad first round
3
opponent.
picks are Hazuki, Kid, and Mina. I think one of those 3 is winning it.
And like not to be that guy, but all three of them will look beautiful in the winning dress. So like I'm excited. I'm like, what a final three that is. And Hazuki, my God, if anybody deserves anything after the work they've been putting in on Stardom, Hazuki deserves something. After I'm still she's still in my mind riding off that fucking 5-star performance, which isn't to say that she hasn't been going hard since then. She has. I'm just saying that like that alone still is carrying enough mileage with me that I'm like, give her something.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I actually really like your top three. I think we'll go with that. Um, Beyond that, man, is there anything you want to freaking talk about or like? Because God, honestly, I think just everything's about Chamber tonight. Honestly, I
Yeah.
think that's where a lot of
Chamber
hype
tonight is
is.
definitely big. It's a big deal without a doubt.
And Battle at the Valley, I know is also happening. We're gonna be covering that after Chamber.
Oh yeah, I figured we could maybe use this show as an opportunity to do like preview and prediction about the matches we care about for that show.
All right, let's do that now, actually, because I don't want to spin our wheels. So what are we previewing and predicting? I know obviously the main event or what should be the main event, Mercedes and Kyrie. Is that the confirmed main event or is something else
Well,
going over it?
the last match is going to end up being Okada Tanahashi for the IWGP title,
Oh, okay, okay. I guess you can't go wrong with that.
but Kylie
So
Mercedes is probably semi-main.
okay, so which match are we predicting first here?
How about Jay White versus Eddie Kingston? Loser leaves New Japan.
I'm gonna say Eddie. Eddie's kind of the guy that struggles and everything else, hard times and all that shit. So I'm not gonna buy into all this stuff with Jay White until I see it. So I'm gonna say Jay White to win.
I'm gonna go the other way. I'm thinking Eddie wins. I think Jay White is WWE bound, honestly.
God help him. So what's next?
Um, I mean, there are other matches, but I don't know if we care about. Like, do we care about Fred Rosser defending the strong openweight championship against Kenta?
No,
Do we care about the Motor City Machine Guns defending the strong openweight tag titles against the West Coast Wrecking Crew?
no,
Do we care about ZSJ defending the New Japan Television Championship against Clark Connors?
no. Although that should be a okay match. Just no.
Then let's just talk about Kaidi versus Mercedes.
I'd be so much less angry about this if Mercedes got pronunciations right. Now I think she's doing it deliberately to get heat, but it's such cheap heat. Like, no. um, Mercedes, right?
Score AMZ, bro!
She knows what she's doing. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck. Mercedes just wins, and I guess this is her heel gimmick. Is look at me, I'm a foreigner that's really talented, so talented. In fact, I don't have to care about how things are pronounced. But it's like I understand that you're getting heat because that's what my brain is telling me because I really can't accept the alternative. But like, it doesn't help anybody because you still want to promote the fucking shit. Like, there are many things you could insult Osme for. You could make up other stuff. You really have to go after a fucking name, which really, like, oh god. But yeah, Mercedes to beat Kyrie, unfortunately, and to be the second ever IWGP Women's Champion. So
I really, really hope this goes to a TLD.
yeah, I don't know about that.
That's to me, that's like the best possible outcome here is a time limit draw. But I don't think they're gonna do that. Um, and honestly, with Ghetto booking it, it's probably gonna be an under 10-minute match too. So
God, yeah.
they're gonna make Stardom look like shit here and have Mercedes win in under 10 minutes. And it's going to be gross, and I'm going to hate it.
I'm gonna hate it too, friend. Fuck. Alright. So does that just leave Okada Tanahashi then?
Yeah, and I just assume Okada retains, right?
I mean, one's a stallion, the other's a stallion, but old. You gotta go with Okada. And yeah, there you go. God, New Japan, I don't want to tell you this, but you kind of suck ass, and I kind of want you to get out of my fucking apartment. We're over.
Get out of my apartment.
Yeah, get out of my apartment, get off my fucking lawn, and God, I would never call the cops on you because that's gross rightist shit, but like don't contact me. Don't message me on socials. I'm even ashamed to tell my parents that we broke up because they don't even know that we dated in the first place, which is now a double shame retroactively. Get your fucking shit together. Christ.
Please.
Oh my god, I hate them so much. I still haven't forgiven you for Wrestle Kingdom, and to be honest, I don't want to because there's a very broken part of me that likes hanging on to the bitterness. And if you don't like it, well, fuck you. So, yeah, I think those are my opinions on that. We have anything else we need to talk about?
Alex Foster in chat was like, I could honestly see Dick Togo squatting in John's apartment.
Foster, you need to listen to me right now. You, compared to New Japan, you, no notes. No fucking notes. You're perfect. I love you, and I would never kick you out of my apartment. In fact, goddamn, I'd be taking the guest bedroom. I'd let you take over the master bedroom. I don't belong in there when your existence is in my fucking, fucking dwelling or whatever the fuck. So, I didn't do any extracurricular while. Well, maybe actually I did while I was convalescing, but I don't remember anything about it. So I don't
While
fucking
you
know.
were convalescing?
Yeah, it's another word for healing. I'm just bringing the +9 words here today. Uh, Javar's New Japan is in the mud, dude. If Jay White is seriously like WWE, which they have one really white hot fucking storyline right now, and everything else is kind of okay because I mean Gunther is just so dominant, and now they're trying to make Madcap Moss heel through Emma being heel. Why do you do this every time with Emma, WWE? You get her, she's babyface for like a hiccup, and then somebody in the back is like, she's kind of a bitch. Let's turn her heel. And then it's like, cool, she can do heel. That's not a problem, but then you don't use her. You do this to her and thereby to us every fucking time. But no, if Jay White's going to look at that and be like, you know what? That's the greener pasture. That's the prospect. New Japan, I am begging you, look at your fucking life. Why are you the Jerry in this? Look at her. You're going to lose her. Fuck. Oh.
There have also been rumors that WWE might land Ibushi and Omega.
I'm really turned up right now, and I'm trying to be self-aware enough to not say because like the filter is off. There is just I just want to keep going off on this fucking company. What are you doing? Literally, what are you doing? And AEW, I mean, they have Omega, so what are you doing? How do you let this happen? Like, God. See, because that's the thing. We need to talk about the fact that, like, yes, you can have an alternative. Like, Impact, I would still say, in a very loose sense, all this time later, is still an alternative. But, like, I don't think it's wrong or out of pocket for me to say it's harder to be an interesting alternative if your top guys are fucking leaving. Because, then you really get tested of either you're going to make new top guys. With New Japan, I thought used to be really good at. Now I'm starting to have fucking doubts because I have no idea what they're doing over there. They're not doing anything with Sonata, who could have been a top guy by now and carried the load. They're just like, pass. AEW, everybody's a top guy because nobody really stands out, at least to me. MJF might stand out, but that's not necessarily in a good way. And WWE is just like, wow, we've got one really hot storyline. Our value's increased. Vince is out of the company, which probably means guys like Omega feel better about being in the locker room because they won't be like stigmatized by Vince. And we're kind of sitting pretty, taking all your faves again. It's like we're running it back because I feel like this is like the 2010s all over again, where everybody was just kind of going to WWE, which is exciting if you watch the product, but if you want an alternative or you just don't, kind of sucks. So come on, team, get your shit together. Would really like that, like a lot. So we'll see what happens.
All right. So, I don't really have anything else for us to talk about. Funny thing is, with Stardom, I think they literally only had like 3 shows during this entire period for us, and we reacted to 2 of them, and the third one we'll be reacting to on Monday.
Yeah, at 4 p.m. So we can just wait for that. I already said I didn't do any extracurricular watching, or at least any that I remember. What about you? Any extracurricular stuff?
Any extracurricular stuff?
Yeah, like, you know.
I don't think I've watched any TJPW. I know I haven't watched any Impact. Haven't watched any New Japan, so I'm just gonna say no. I haven't done anything extracurricular.
All right, I guess we'll open it to questions. Which I mean, Foster actually did ask a question. He asked, Ashton, did you see Carl's debut? I'm assuming he means, and you just answered, haven't watched it yet. So, okay, I guess I'll officially open it up to questions that won't be answered in the chat. So, oh man. So, anybody has any questions about, I guess, even the past 2 weeks, this week and last week, because I was laid up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashton, Jvar saying, Ashton, we watched the Super Bowl. Yeah, you guys made good choices for sure. Compared to most of the shit going on in the
I
wrestling
mean,
world,
if
I
you want
hope
to count that
Jinder.
as extracurricular, it was a great game. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, we just when we say extracurricular, I mean we mean wrestling outside of the current period. So like if I
Yeah.
watch something from the '90s or some shit, do you think Adam Cole will be the one to defeat MJF? Cash says it's actually a legitimately great question. I still think Eddie Kingston should be the one because the contrast is so perfect. But Adam Cole, after the babyface reception he got, and I still don't think he's done anything since, has he? So like, fuck.
He's just been talking. He's had talking segments. He hasn't had any matches yet.
But I think Adam Cole would be a fine, like, I would even say 1B. I don't even want to put him in necessarily the number 2 slot. I would say Kingston, Cole, and if they ever want to run back to Takeshita, I think he could be built up well. I still like Hangman a lot. I don't know if he'll be going heel, though, after this whole thing
Hangman
with
is a great
Moxley.
option. Wardlow, I
Yeah.
think, has to be considered. I think he was the original
Oh,
plan, but
definitely.
he's cooled off so much that it's hard to believe now.
I'm like, God, I don't want to be that guy, but you can tell that I'm in a mood because we haven't done this in a while. And I'm like feeling really good. Like,
I mean,
I'm,
dude,
what is
you've
this?
got all the time in the world. If you want to go on a tangential rant, feel free.
Not even tangential because we already know it, but like, whose fault is that? Like, you didn't say anything wrong, but it's like, oh, Wardlow's cool. It's like, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
Not his, because like
Oh
he
yeah,
still does
speaking
his
of
part when he
Wardlow,
gets.
did you know about Samoa Joe betraying him and them having a TNT title match on Revolution? That's the thing.
Oh wait, but that betrayal already happened. Wait, yeah, like,
Well, if you know about it, then that means that it's long enough ago that it was before you tuned out. I just didn't realize that. But yeah,
bro.
so yeah, but that match is official for Revolution now. We're getting Wardlow versus Joe for the TNT title.
Oh well, it's about time because we knew that he like betrayed him like what, like a month or two ago, and like
I
that one
didn't
tag
know how
match or
long
something.
ago it was, man.
Yeah, I fuck. Anyway,
But yeah, that's official. MJF Danielson, you already knew was official. We've actually got a 4-way tag title match happening at Revolution, where the only 2 teams that we know are going to be in it are the Guns and the Acclaimed, and the other 2 teams are going to be determined by other matches happening over the next week or two. So we've got a tag team battle royal coming up, and then we've also got a casino tag team battle royale coming up, and the winners of those 2 matches will be added to the 4-way tag title match at Revolution. The only other match that's been made official for Revolution is Moxley Hangman Texas Death Match.
it'd be a lot of bleeding.
Oh, believe me, Moxley's been doing plenty of it already.
I know.
Bro,
So what's
Moxley
even
was
the point?
bloodied all to hell in the fucking tornado tag against Roosh and Preston Vance.
So tired.
Somebody needs to put a fucking leash on this man.
Renee needs to sit him down and be like, "What the fuck is going on? What are you not telling me? Because there is some kink here, there is some addiction here, there is something here. What the fuck?" Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You good?
Wow. Yeah. No. I'm just giving up on everything. So
Why? What
yeah,
happened?
I'm just frustrated with wrestling, and I'm looking up Twitter Blue as well because I'm thinking I'm gonna have to pay to get my fucking wrestling account back, which I shouldn't have to because it's gross and I fucking hate billionaires. But we're continuing Q&A here. So Cash Sales did ask, do you think Adam Cole will be the one to beat MJF? We already answered that. So any other questions, guys, feel free. Don't let my spiraling distract you. You just said that he was bullied, but now he is the bully. Do you think there's a chance of BCC turning heel? Patrice Bryan helping MJF retain? You know, I could have seen that a while ago because I felt like there would have been a narrative reason. Danielson choosing Garcia over BCC seemingly when they didn't trust him. Danielson siding with Regal over Moxley when Moxley, got betrayed by Regal and saving Regal from getting his head stomped in. They could say that, we didn't betray we didn't betray Danielson. Danielson betrayed BCC. So I could see it. I don't know how I'd feel about it now because I've been so checked out, but I could definitely see it. What about you, man? Do you think any more like heel turns or whatever are going to come out of the Blackpool Combat Club?
I mean, just to directly answer Caster Sales' question, there's no shot the BCC costs Bryan in his match with MJF, in my opinion. No shot.
All right, then we will see what happens. I've seen a bit more open. You're like adamantly like, no, that is not going to happen.
I guess in my mind it would make no sense, but then like if Tony decides to do some Tony bullshit and just do shit that makes no sense, then obviously it's possible. But if we're trying to follow the rules of logic, it makes no fucking sense at all.
Yes. All right. Any other questions?
Alex said, thoughts on Mako already challenging Roxanne? Not that she doesn't deserve it, but it would feel weird to have Roxanne lose this early.
I just feel like Roxanne's gonna retain, kind of be a Mako will kind of be a legitimizer for her title reign. Like, oh wow, she beat Mako, so she's the real deal, kind of thing. That's just how I assumed.
I I don't know about that, man.
Oh, so you think Mako might actually
I don't know how believable it is for Roxanne to beat Mako. I feel like some shenanigans would have to happen for that to be believable.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like someone would have to attack Mako before the match or something. Interference,
Yeah.
some kind of DQ, something like that.
Yeah, I see. All right.
Yeah.
That could be interesting. Any other questions?
Do you think Mark Briscoe
yeah.
is going to beat Claudio for the ROH title? Probably, yeah.
God, probably, but I hope not. Nothing against the Briscoes. I know they've gone through a hard time, but I just always hate when wrestling feels the need to do this.
That's
It's
Tony,
awkward.
though. That's Tony. He still features fucking Brody Lee's son on television out of basically, sympathy.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. But I feel like Claudio's first reign wasn't really memorable. I doubt his second reign's really been that memorable, and now to do a certain.
Well, considering he's only held the title again this time for like 2 months, I'd say it's been extremely unmemorable.
Yeah, so that kind of sucks. Foster, if we get Mako, Wesley, and Carmelo as champs, I might have to declare NXT as the best show. Well, they've definitely got some amazing workers as their champions.
Claudio has had 3 title defenses since winning it on December 10th. First one was against Josh Woods. The second one was against Christopher Daniels. And the third one was against Blake Christian. And none of them have been televised.
Amazing.
The first one was on Dark Elevation. The second one was on the ROH Jay Briscoe Tribute and Celebration of Life. And the third one was also on Dark Elevation.
Oh, boy.
And the first and third ones were both 7 minutes and some odd seconds long. And the second one was 13:36. So those 3 matches combined for under 30 minutes. I feel like Ring of Honor World Title matches used to go 30 minutes pretty regularly for just one match.
Yeah, that laughter's appropriate.
Oh, Lord.
This feud between Swerve and Dustin is because of Cody Me. Well, probably. God, what a waste of Swerve's fucking time. Jesus Christ. Any other questions?
Oh, man.
If you had your own Eddie Kingston hologram, what would you have it cut promos on? The economy. I would have it cut promos on the economy and capitalism because, yeah, that's what deserves all of Eddie Kingston's fucking ire right now.
Bro, in May of 2019, Matt Taven defended the ROH title in a 26-minute match against Mark Haskins.
The only thing about that sentence that was attractive was Mark Haskins.
Taven won the ROH title in a three-way match, also involving Jay Lethal, who was the champion at the time, and Marty Scurll in 2019. Match went almost 30 minutes.
Oh my god. God, a time when I was actually a Marty Scurll fan, because yeah, oh my god, wrestling has changed so much. A lot of it for the worse.
When did Speaking Out happen?
I thought that was 2020, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, I feel like. Let me see. What Speaking Out was such a big event, I wouldn't be surprised if it got like its own Wikipedia page or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was June 2020. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn, 2020 was so eventful.
Yeah. A lot of shit happened. God, yeah. It's amazing too how the people that actually did get phased out because of speaking out, it actually worked because there are people I haven't thought about in so long. Because I'm looking at the wiki page and I'm reminded that Jimmy Havoc got implicated in it. I haven't thought about that name in forever.
Well,
And
yeah, because remember, he was with AEW early on in AEW's life, and he was actually like relatively commonly featured for them. And then, yeah, Speaking Out happened, and he got released and just disappeared from pretty much the entire wrestling scene. He's just not around anymore.
yeah, pretty wild. Um, so yeah, I guess that's it for questions. So I guess we'll move on to high spots and low shots. Man, I mean, we've got a pretty big pool to pick from, given that we didn't do last week either because I was recovering. Um,
I know mine already, both of them.
Good. Well, wow, you're definitely prepared then. Uh, Fuck it. I'm gonna say my low shot is the Acclaimed losing the tag titles to the fucking Gun Club. Jesus
That's a
Christ.
great pick. Yeah, that's a great pick.
So yeah, who's your low shot?
My low shot's Mercedes Monet because she just keeps not pronouncing names correctly, and it makes her look really bad. And she's about to become the face of the company that has all the stars in it that she can't fucking pronounce their names right. So that makes her look like a bad face of the company too.
I'm gonna be a bit more meta with my high spot. I don't normally do this. High spot, Sami Zayn.
Oh, I was
Even if
gonna
he
do that
loses,
too. We both have. We're gonna go all in, bro. I'm not changing mine. We're gonna have a unanimous
nah,
high spot. It's Sammy for sure.
no, because like when you said that he's a genuine ratings mover and the pop he got in Montreal last night, even if
Yep.
he loses tonight, which I expect him to, this is what careers are made of. He's going to remember this for the rest of his life. And I honestly, it's funny we were speaking about speaking out. There's almost a kind of poetry about it because I don't know if there's a nicer guy in this industry than fucking Sami Zayn. He definitely deserves this. I hope this is dovetailed into success too for Sammy for Syria. I hope like his increased
Oh, that would
popularity
be awesome.
has made people, donate more for, clinics and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude's got a heart of fucking gold. I've listened to podcasts with him. Granted, it's been a while. I'm not saying recently, but he just seems like he's got such a good head, not just about the business, but about life. And I'm really, really happy for the dude. So good on you, Sammy. And like you said, we share a high spot. So with that said, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm really glad we weren't farting around today because I was a bit scared that like, oh god, it's 2 weeks worth. We're gonna be here for like 3 hours because I got up pretty late today, so I haven't eaten anything. So I'm gonna eat and I'm gonna get my mind right for Chamber. So yeah, with that
Yeah.
said, guys, this has been
we're gonna be live tonight for like 6.5 hours.
oh my god, hooray. So yeah, guys, this has been TWitWoW in Review, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans by wrestling fans on the web today. I'm John, it's my core and commentary Ashton. Be sure to like the video, file out, subscribe with the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss any of that TWitWoW goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best in all the IWC. And as Ashton said, check us out tonight, 8 p.m. Elimination Chamber live reactions, whole show. And then with Battle at the Valley, we'll be covering the tail end, the matches we care about, including the semi-main and Mercedes Moné versus Kyrie for the IWGP Women's Championship, and Tanahashi versus Okada for the world title. Until then, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Tune in. Peace out.